There are everyday problems most of the world has just quietly accepted. Cold toilet seats, trains you can't trust, cities that feel grimy. Japan looked at these exact annoyances decades ago and simply solved them. So here's the real question. Why are we still living with problems Japan fixed years ago? Start with the most famous one, the toilet. While much of the world still uses a cold, basic seat, Japan reinvented the entire experience. Heated seats, built-in bidets, gentle warm water, deodorizing, even sound masking for privacy. It's clean, comfortable, and hygienic in a way that makes the standard model feel genuinely primitive. The strangest part is that once you've used one, going back feels like a downgrade, and yet most of the world still treats it as an exotic luxury rather than the obvious standard it deserves to be. Think about how strange that is. We accept a slightly unpleasant daily ritual not because a better option doesn't exist, but purely out of habit and inertia. Japan removed the discomfort, the mess, and the awkwardness from one of life's most universal moments, and somehow that fix still hasn't spread the way it obviously should. Next, train punctuality. In Japan, trains run on time to the minute, so reliably that a delay of a few minutes can prompt an actual apology from the operator. You don't plan your day around the possibility of being stranded because the system simply works. Compare that to the resigned shrug most commuters give a late or canceled train elsewhere. Japan proved that mass transit can be something you trust completely, and the rest of us are still wondering why ours can't manage it. The deeper achievement isn't the speed, it's the trust. When a system never lets you down, it disappears from your worries entirely. You stop building your life around its failures, stop leaving early just in case, and stop carrying that low hum of uncertainty. Reliability, it turns out, is a kind of quiet freedom. Then there are the vending machines. Japan has them everywhere, and they actually work, dispensing hot and cold drinks, meals, and countless other goods reliably, day and night, even in remote spots. They're well-stocked, well-maintained, and rarely vandalized. They solve the simple problem of getting what you need, when you need it, without depending on a shop being open or a person being present. It's small-scale automation done right, and it's been quietly humming along for decades. What's clever is the assumption behind it, that your basic needs shouldn't depend on whether a business happens to be open or staffed at that moment. By scattering reliable little machines everywhere, Japan made a whole category of daily frustration, the closed shop, the long detour, the unavailable snack, simply vanish. Consider Japanese customer service, the spirit known as omotenashi. Service is attentive, sincere, and respectful, with no expectation of a tip, because doing the job well is the point. You're treated as a genuine guest rather than a transaction to be processed. The contrast with the indifferent or transactional service common elsewhere is stark. Japan solved the problem of how to make people feel genuinely welcomed, and it did it without gimmicks, just a deep cultural commitment to care. The lesson is that good service doesn't actually require a financial incentive to behave well. When taking pride in the work is the norm, the quality comes naturally and consistently. It reframes service as a form of mutual respect rather than a performance fished for in hope of a bigger tip. Look at public cleanliness, which is almost paradoxical. Japanese streets are remarkably clean, yet public trash bins are scarce. The solution is cultural. People simply carry their rubbish home and dispose of it properly. There's a shared sense of responsibility for shared space. The result is a country that stays spotless without relying on an army of cleaners or a bin on every corner, solving a problem that grimier cities throw endless money at. The insight is that cleanliness is a collective behavior, not just a service to be purchased. When everyone quietly takes responsibility for the mess they create, the whole environment improves at almost no cost. It's proof that some of the hardest urban problems have cultural solutions, not just expensive technical ones. Then the convenience store, or konbini, which Japan elevated into something extraordinary. These are not sad corner shops. They offer genuinely good fresh food, reliable services, bill payment, parcel pickup, clean toilets, and quality goods, all around the clock. A Japanese convenience store can quietly handle a surprising slice of your daily needs at any hour. It's the humble corner shop reimagined as a dependable, 24-hour life support system. Once you've relied on one, ordinary convenience stores elsewhere feel almost sad, stocked with stale snacks and little else. Japan asked what a corner shop could actually be if it took the job seriously, and the answer turned out to be one of the most useful institutions in daily life. Think about the kotatsu, the low table with a heater underneath and a blanket draped over the edges. Instead of expensively heating an entire room, you heat the small space where your body actually is. The family gathers around it, warm and cozy, while saving energy. It's an elegant, efficient answer to staying warm in winter that's been perfected over centuries, and it makes blasting a whole house with heating look wasteful by comparison. There's real wisdom in that simple shift of focus. Heat the person, not the building. It saves energy, it draws the family together into one cozy spot, and it solves a real winter problem without complex technology. Sometimes the smartest answer is the one that's centuries old and beautifully simple. Look at the capsule hotel. Japan recognized that sometimes a traveler just needs a clean, safe, affordable place to sleep for a night, not a sprawling, expensive room. So it created compact sleeping pods with everything you need and nothing you don't. It's an efficient, dignified solution to a real problem, somewhere comfortable to rest without paying for space you won't use, and it's an idea the rest of the world is only slowly beginning to borrow. It strips travel lodging back to its honest essentials and refuses to make you pay for square footage you'll spend asleep. That clarity about what a person actually needs, rather than what tradition says a hotel must provide, is exactly the kind of clear thinking that produces a genuinely better solution. Consider the small courtesies engineered into daily life. Umbrella lockers and plastic sleeves so you don't drip everywhere. Taxis with doors that open automatically. Tray payment so you're never fumbling change into a hand. Slippers provided for indoor spaces. Each is a tiny fix for a tiny annoyance, and together they signal a culture that genuinely pays attention to the small frictions everyone else just learns to tolerate. Individually, each one sounds trivial, almost not worth mentioning. But that's precisely the point. A culture willing to fix even the tiniest irritations ends up with a daily life that feels smooth in a way that's hard to name. The magic is in the accumulation of 100 small considerations. Think about queuing and order in public. People line up neatly, wait their turn, and respect shared space without anyone needing to enforce it. The chaotic scrum that breaks out elsewhere when a train arrives or a sale opens simply doesn't happen. Japan solved the problem of crowds through a shared, quiet agreement to be considerate, and the result is a calmer, less stressful experience for everyone in the crowd. It demonstrates that order in crowds doesn't have to be imposed by barriers and guards. It can simply be agreed upon. When everyone trusts that everyone else will play fair and wait their turn, the panic and pushing disappear, and a dense crowd becomes oddly peaceful rather than something to dread. And consider earthquake engineering. Living on some of the most seismically active land on Earth, Japan didn't just hope for the best. It engineered buildings, trains, and warning systems to withstand and respond to disaster. Structures sway safely instead of collapsing, and alerts reach phones seconds before the shaking starts. It's a profound example of facing a hard problem head-on with relentless preparation rather than crossed fingers. The mindset is the real takeaway. Faced with a genuine threat, Japan chose meticulous engineering and early warning over hope, and countless lives have been saved as a result. It's a powerful reminder that even the most frightening problems shrink when met with serious, sustained preparation.